All right, so this is Mellissa. She is here from the great state of Ohio. She's actually here as a missionary, and she's working downtown. She's been here, you've been here how long?
Since November.
Since November, okay. So tell us a little bit, how did you find our office?
Well, I've been having some issues with neuropathy, and I do a lot of searching online, and your name and office came up, and I
So you saw the video on YouTube, basically, then?
Well, no, I actually went to your website first.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me right there, and I watched the videos and just anything I could find on it, and
okay. Yeah, because I remember when you called. Yeah, and you called and said, I want to make an appointment. Usually most of our patients we meet, from doing some kind of a health fair, a senior center or something like that. So yours was kind of a little different. So it was nice to know that the stuff we're doing is getting out there, right?
Yes.
So you came in for an evaluation, and then we had you come back and go through everything. Now when you came in, the day you came in, after the evaluation, you had 54% loss of sensation. It actually was in both feet, right? Okay, so today we did the final evaluation, and what was your percentage? Do you remember me telling you?
12 and 5.
12 and 5. So she went all the way from 54% loss of sensation to 12% in her right leg and 5% in her left. And that is awesome. That is just awesome.
It is.
That's incredible. So what made you decide to actually do the program? Because when I explain stuff to people, I don't beat around the bush. There's costs involved, there's commitment involved. You had to actually work around your missionary schedule to try to figure out how to get down here twice a week. You had to get permission from the missionary, the missionary department or whatever it was, or whoever you're working with, to be able to come down twice a week. So there is a big commitment. There's dollars commitment. What made you decide that, yeah, I want to do this?
Well, I guess I kind of go on gut feelings.
Okay.
And I was prayerful about it. And after I came in for the consultation, and it just was the right thing to do.
Okay,
and
cool.
It felt good.
Awesome.
So,
Well, we like being answers to prayers, because I think that that's how prayers are answered from other people most of the time. So that's awesome. But that's what people do, in your same search group. Like I said to you earlier, I think a lot of times people are actually praying for help all the time. And it is kind of frustrating when people come in and we know we can help them and they choose not to do our program, and yet I feel that we could be an answer to those prayers for them. So what were the things that you, when you first started, what did you like about what we were doing? What made the concept work for you?
Well, I think the different treatments
Okay.
I could feel them, it just felt like it was doing good.
Okay.
And I like your office. I like the atmosphere here.
Oh, good.
And it just felt good, and it kept me coming. And
And she's really natural anyway. You are really natural. I mean, I've learned some stuff from things that she's come up with, yeah. So she's really into doing things natural and alternative and everything like that. So that wasn't kind of a hard thing for you.
No.
The dietary stuff wasn't really that bad at all for you, because that's kind of who you were anyway.
Right.
So that makes it easier, because sometimes the dietary stuff can be hard for people, because it's hard to change your diet when you're older. You've been eating a certain way for a long time. So that was probably one of the easier things for you than it was for most people.
It was.
What were some of the changes you started seeing, and what were the things you noticed along the way?
Well, I think the biggest thing was using the unit at home
Okay.
and here. Often, it might go a few times that I would come, but then all of a sudden, there'd be more feeling to them.
Okay, so you just you felt like you got more of like a gradual progression. Okay.
Very much gradual.
Okay. We've had some people that from within the first few visits they've noticed big changes. Some people take a little while before they notice some changes, but you kind of felt like just kind of like a steady progression. Is that kind of fair?
I think that's fair,
Yeah.
and I think maybe some of it had to do with that I'm already doing a lot of things that the diet and
Right.
all that. I found that with other supplements and other cleanses, with cleanses and that kind of thing.
Right.
That it doesn't affect me too much intensely like
Right.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
At
And
first.
and she, you know, Melissa has done a lot of stuff. You know, she's done a lot of alternative natural stuff. So this was kind of just right up the alley of what what you're doing. That's probably why it connected with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things that you enjoyed most about the office experience?
It was just always nice to come in and be greeted, and
Okay.
it was just a very warm environment.
So standard,
Caring.
oh, thank you. So standard, most people, you know, they're here about an hour. You do the therapy for about a half hour. I work with you for, 10 minutes, and you do the other therapies in the back office. So you're here about an hour. So it is a commitment. But I'll tell you what, the more committed you are to doing the program, the better results you're going to get. And that's just the reality. And Melissa was awesome about doing everything. She was great because she had to come in with some questions and things of that nature. And so it was nice because I always tell patients this isn't a me thing, it's a we thing. Because if we don't work, and then it's not going to work. And that was very easy to work with you, so it was nice. It's always nice to be able to work with patients and actually see progression and sometimes you don't realize how much progression there is. Like if we would have asked you before what percentage you thought you would have been before we did the evaluation, you probably wouldn't have thought that that's where you were. But it's been, we've seen you 30 visits or so, and so it's been 3 months plus or something like that. So it's just slow, steady progression. You sometimes forget what it was like to have those adverse sensations.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to say because there's people out there, they have doubts, there's people out there that are confused, there's people out there that have different symptoms, don't know if this is the right place for them. Is there anything that you think you might want to say to them? Because that's who's watching the videos, people who are having questions.
Yeah. I can't say that this would help every 100% of the people that come in.
Yeah, and I can't say that either.
Yeah.
I'm honest with them.
But I was determined to have some improvement, and this was it for me.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
And I think it's, but you have to be committed to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
And do it, and there's been great results.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased.
Yeah, well, you've been a great patient, so we appreciate that very much. And you just got, a couple more months left, and then you're going back home, right?
3.
No, you're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate you doing the testimonial. Thanks.